Hey, welcome. My name's Blake Johnson. I'm a professor in the ISE department, and today I'm going to be giving you guys a tour of the Advanced Biomanufacturing and Biosensing Lab, where essentially we're focused on making process innovations in the field of biomanufacturing and biosensing. So without further ado, let's go on into the lab. So this is the Biomanufacturing and Biosensing Lab. It's about a 1,300 square foot laboratory, and this is a dedicated space where we focus on essentially trying to make process innovations related to biomanufacturing, and specifically we're focused on trying to make innovations in the process monitoring and sensing areas. So a big focus of what we do in the lab is trying to apply automation for improving biomanufacturing processes and improving characterization of biomanufactured products. And some of the main process analytical technology that we focus on developing in our lab is biosensors and chemical sensors. And essentially those are tools that we can use to quantify and identify molecules. And in biomanufacturing applications, one of the critical quality indicators of process quality, and in fact some of the products that we're trying to make are on a molecular scale. So the ability to quantify, identify, detect molecules and biomolecules is of particular importance in this field. So let me take you around the lab and show you some of the critical technologies that we have here. And so we'll proceed with the tour. So in the Advanced Biomanufacturing and Biosensing Lab, one of the process technologies that we utilize in biomanufacturing now, or we're beginning to utilize more and more, is actually additive manufacturing processes. So this is a gantry robot that we have in the lab that allows us to do high precision additive biomanufacturing, and we also leverage these robots for automation and primarily for trying to create high throughput methods for characterization of biomaterials and products that are made with biomanufacturing processes. So essentially these robots we leverage for, again, manufacturing purposes, but we also leverage them for quality control inspection purposes as well. And one of the applications that we are uniquely working on in our lab is the ability to do additive manufacturing on moving surfaces and moving objects, and also objects that have non-flat surfaces, which is very important in the biomanufacturing field because sometimes we're actually trying to integrate printed materials, printed devices directly with biology. So there is a need to leverage automation technology and also to develop new sorts of path planning algorithms that can work for those sort of applications. So as I mentioned before, in the biomanufacturing and biosensing lab, we're very invested into creating next generation process analytical technology that can be leveraged in biomanufacturing processes and also in other applications that require the ability to detect molecules with high precision, high accuracy. So some of the main workhorses of our laboratory are in the form of cantilever sensing technology, which is a type of technology you can see here that has a dipstick type format. So we're able to essentially develop sensors that can be used as probes and can be interfaced with robots to do automated measurement applications. Another application that we're very much interested in our lab is creating sensors and sensing technology that can do high throughput measurement. And so we're working with many types of sensors and sensing techniques in our lab, including electrochemical sensing, impedometric sensing. And so these sort of techniques allow us to try to integrate new types of sensors with processes to improve their quality and also to control the processes in novel ways. So in the biomanufacturing and biosensing lab, we're very lucky to have access to some really top-of-the-line analytical capabilities and resources for both biomanufacturing, for essentially growing microbes and developing processes that are based on microbes, and characterizing those products and those processes. So in the corner of the lab, you can see here that we have dedicated biosafety cabinets, incubators for cell culture applications. We also, as you kind of see down along this wall of the lab, we have an abundance of analytical techniques and robots that are leveraged for these applications that I discussed in the past. Electrochemical sensing, cell culture, essentially additional robots for doing automated characterization and additive manufacturing applications, microscopy for inspecting cell quality, generating image data that can be used for those applications, and circuit design. And so a lot of the things that we're working on here in the lab are related to really miniaturization, process integration, and so these analytical capabilities allow us to really pioneer those areas and allow students to have access to top-of-the-line instrumentation to support their research in this space. So as I mentioned, we're very lucky to have access to a really large lab space and to be able to really do all the components that are required to do advanced biomanufacturing and biosensing research. So in this section of lab, you can see we have really dedicated resources for chemistry and preparing the materials that we use in biomanufacturing and biosensing applications. We have a number of chemical fume hoods that can support students with chemistry background and doing research that has chemistry incorporated in it, and biochemistry as well. And if you come further down to this section of lab, you can see this section of lab essentially is dedicated more to manufacturing applications. We have several robots in the lab that we utilize for additive biomanufacturing applications, sensor additive manufacturing applications, and also those robots are also leveraged for high throughput characterization applications and automated characterization quality control in the space. If you continue on down to this end of the lab, you'll again get a look at kind of a section of our lab that focuses on quality control, characterization, and analysis. So in this section of lab, we have an abundance of analytical instruments and sensing technologies that we leverage in this domain. And the ability to have all these things in one workspace really allows students to be successful, spend less time trying to find resources that they need, and really make a lot of progress in exciting research projects.